Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking NIO stock. NIO is one of those EVs I'm always very excited to talk about. Long term, extremely bullish on them. You could hold for a few years and be looking at a very solid profit. But I'm not talking long term, I'm talking the short term and what I see happening in the next month and a half. I think NIO has a lot of pressure and consolidation leading up to a $90 to $80 push, leading me to be very bullish on this stock. I'm going to go over a few new pieces of news that were just released, leading me to believe that the run-up is just now starting. I think $60 is about to be shattered and $70 being pushed within a week and a half. You'll actually be able to see the charting as well as the news in the next 5 to 6 minutes. But before we get into that content, I need you to do one thing and one thing only. Hit that sub button down below, leave a thumbs up, and have the notifications turned on. I'm posting videos every single day regarding the stocks that I am trading, as well as the stocks you guys request. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at with NIO is some articles relating to the overall sales number in China and how the competitors are kind of beating out Tesla in China specifically. And then we're going to look at some earnings report news coming out, which does come out on the 1st of March. And then there's some other news as well. So let's dive right into it. This is overall going about the news about Tesla, comparing it to NIO. And people were kind of concerned that Tesla would take some of that market value away from NIO, but the sales are still up for NIO. In January, Tesla sold around 15,000 cars in China. A notable drop from that, around 24,000 cars sold in December. So we're seeing a pretty big spike and drop down. Now, if you go down and look at XPEV and NIO, in January, looking at the competition for Tesla, NIO said to deliver about 7,200 vehicles. XPEV is said to a six-fold increase to 6,000 vehicles. Li Auto around 5,000, an increase of 356% overall for those companies combined. Looking pretty strong overall. So if you look at the very top, we can see sales of electric vehicles tripled to 158,000 in January, although it has dropped around 24% in overall sales numbers for EVs from December. It's still peaking up from January this year to January last year, so that is good, and we do know the market is growing continuously there in China. This is something that is worth noting. Meanwhile, Chinese authorities told Tesla on Monday it had to beef up quality and safety measures. Tesla, which has expanded rapidly in China thanks to the large part of Chinese government subsidies, has been dogged by consumer complaints, which is very weird because in America, it's not getting that many complaints, but in China, there's a lot. Tesla last week recalled more than 36,000 Model S and Model X vehicles imported from the US due to touchscreen problems. That recall follows another one in October that affected more than 48,000 imported cars of the same models in China because of the faulty suspension systems. So that is something that I wanted to highlight, but this is what has me very bullish on NIO as a company. So as looking at NIO, they own about 86% of their company overall, which is very good for the company. They own 86 total. Only outside investors own about 14%, give or take. That's pretty bullish. But now NIO is said to be spending $850 million, as you can see from this level here, to increase the ownership back to above 90% from the 86.4%. That is amazing, buying it back from these Chinese companies as well. So NIO's buying back more of this stock, believing in it. That's kind of what's pushing the stock up today. And I do believe we're getting set for another big push up. It's always very bullish when a company starts buying back stock, reclaiming more and more ownership of the company. 4% of a company for about $850 million. It's looking like they really do believe and they want every last percent that they can get. So we love to see that from the company. But what do the charts say and what do I see from the charts? We're going to get to that right now. The first thing worth noting, I'm very bullish on a long-term scale of NIO. There's no doubt in my mind this coming earnings that they're going to beat. They're going to continue to beat expectations in revenue. They're doing very well as a company year over year, continuously doing very good. In December and November, they had very good sales numbers. We saw a little bit of a drop off here in January, but there's still no doubt in my mind that they're doing very well. Looking at the chart, we have seen a really nice push up over the past few days since the beginning of February. You've seen a nice clear trend, testing this monthly level once, and now today we're testing it again. Putting my money on this, I'm not going to lie, I have call options open. I am targeting a $62 to $63 push very quickly. That is worth noting. But I do believe we are setting up for a massive new high push. I'm not going to lie. I think $70 to $74 is definitely in the works in the coming days and weeks. I think NIO has been consolidating for a large amount of time. The OBV is looking very primed. As you can see, we are pushed largely onto the downside. I think there is tons of room to fly. We're sitting at a big resistance. As you can see, we're trying to flip this support and resistance at this level. I think there's tons of room to go up here though on NEO. It has been consolidating, like I said, for roughly, give or take, a month and a half. That's looking extremely bullish since that NEO Day announcement. There's just tons of volume increasing in, as you can see here. Companies releasing more and more news. The company's buying back more stock. All of this is very bullish news, in fact. And I just love what they're doing. As an investor, I love growth companies. I love stocks that continue to beat revenue and earnings. So it's really beating all the criteria that we love. I don't think that we're going to get a dip back down into this range. If we did get a dip back down to $57, that's an immediate buy. I do think we're going to get a solid push above this range here that you see we're testing that red line. And from there, I think the possibilities are endless. We can start moving directly up to that $61, $62 range. And then from there, if we just start breaking through these supports, as you can see, this is a pretty big level of resistance as well. If we break through those ranges, it's honestly just finding new highs and price discovery, which is something we love to be a part of. If you get into these options before that price discovery range, I'm talking tripling and 4xing your overall investment here. Now, typically, I'm pretty conservative with taking profits. I take them rather quickly. I like to secure profits as quickly as possible. So if I'm ever up 100%, 80 to 100% on any type of trade, I'm quickly getting out of it. So looking here, honestly, what I'm targeting in the short term is the $64 to $63 range. And then from there, we're probably looking for more entries. I think NEO has tons of upside, but that's just me on the short-term timescale. I think NEO is looking for new highs, and the buyback has me extremely bullish on the stock. Honestly, today, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So if you're watching these videos and you see less emotion from me and you kind of think the content is a little bit down today, it's because I'm not feeling too hot. But I did want to push out content and give you guys stocks that I'm looking at and not just hype stocks. I think NEO has tons of room to run. And if you're a long-term investor, you should be sitting pretty nice right now. I think there's a lot of room to go up. The $70 range, I believe, will be tested before the beginning of March. I think $70 to $75 is going to be the next local high. I want to see $80 to $90 before the beginning of summer. I think NEO has tons of room to run. The market is rapidly growing. If you watch these new Super Bowl commercials, you can see the market is overall shifting to an EV type system, especially with these vehicles. I love what's going on. NEO has so much potential and upside that really is not being even tapped into yet. With China, we know they have a specific type of market with the battery swapping. They don't really rely on the charging stations, so that is worth noting in EV, and NEO is dominating with the battery swaps. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. If you got something out of it, make sure you hit that sub button down below, hit the thumbs up, and have the notifications turned on. More videos coming out, and I love NEO, guys. You don't want to miss out. $70 is incoming.